Hey, do you need a photographer for your next big event? Well, look no further. I found the perfect one. Sonny's Way Images is here to meet all of your photographic needs. Sonny is a published freelance photographer who does photography his way, built on creativity, diversity, and fun. Sonny's Way Images aims to inspire, engage, and uplift, all through the might of his camera and the power of his flash. He immortalizes moments. Your image is his focus. So don't delay. Contact Sonny's Way Images today for an amazing photo experience. For more information and bookings, go to sunnyswayimages.com. That's sunnyswayimages.com. SONNIES wayimages.com for more information. Follow him on Instagram at Sonny's Way Images. When it comes to photography, there's only one way to go, and that's Sonny's Way. It's a blessing to me that we should meet. I'd like to thank each in a seat and everybody on their feet. Some won't think that you can do it. Yeah, that's the nature of the beast. But hey, here we are on live stream Podbean. We're hitting it off like 80s melodies from Aretha and Tina T. We're talking RESPECT that allows one to listen and for the other to speak. When we seek, we can find the poet that's inside. However, you should remember a poem doesn't have to rhyme. It can be a full page or just a few chat lines. You can be grown or a child. You or I may have the words the divine uses to save lives. But however you spend your time right now, we are live. Welcome to the Podpoets Lounge, spoken word and poetry trivia game show. I am your host, Naquel. Thank you for tuning in. Today is June 19th, Saturday. It's going to be a great night. You know you are in the place where we have fun celebrating our poets. Tonight, we have some Poetrivia for you. We've got some word, power, sound coming from the amazing, she's here with us, Miss Bizzy Body. Yes, we're going to get to know her a little bit and hear some of her work. I hope everybody is feeling good out there tonight. It's a little bit cloudy right now here on LI, but it was a nice day earlier today. Hot as you know it. I'm sure it might be hot where you are. It's definitely hot over here, and a little rain just a moment ago to cool the place down a little bit. So it's a nice evening. We take it as it comes. Been a long day, but we're here. We're making it work. We want to thank all of y'all who tune in for supporting this podcast. We appreciate it. Awesome night planned. So I'm very honored that Miss Bizzy Body is here with us this evening. I'm going to share her info here in the chat. So those who pull up can follow on Instagram. And also, if you missed our last show, here is a quick clip from that episode where we had joining us Kerry Kinlaw, aka the Mass Poet, along with international recording artist No Ghost. It was a great episode, really cool vibe with those brothers. Here's a quick clip if you missed it. Awungathi izinto zakho ziyahlangana amanje vele mntwana kushuta ku maybe mele vele ngihlabela abaphansi maybe mele ngihlabela abaphansi maybe mele ngihlabela abaphansi maybe mele ngihlabela. So maybe I should go back home and talk to the ancestors.
Okay.
So that's the whole song.
Okay.
On May 1st, 2011, regularly scheduled programming was interrupted for an announcement that shocked the world. Osama bin Laden is dead. He was located hiding out in Pakistan. 23 members of SEAL Team 6 saw, raised Osama's bet, got the ones others failed to get, set his body as sail to meet his God, his promise of virgins. All my life I've had to fight. Deal with whatever hands you have, right? Everybody got everybody got cards, everybody got aces, and everybody got twos, right? But and those twos, they those are they might suck, but at the same time, if you go through them and learn from them and try to glean what you can from them, it'll make you a better person.
Yeah, that was the vibe. And there's a lot more content if you tune in and check out the interview. It was a real engaging conversation with those gentlemen. Really felt brotherly love all through the place. The talent was just incredible from both of those gentlemen. So yeah, go ahead and check that out when you can. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can catch us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, and the rest. Now, if you did join us last episode, thank you. Glad to have you back with us this evening. And if it's your first time listening, peace and big up yourself. Thank you for pulling up. Hope you stick around. Wherever you are listening to the show from, once again, thank you very much for that. You are locked into the Podpoets Lounge. And our mission here is really quite simple usually. It is to bring these poets together. Tonight, it's one poet, but it's usually definitely the network, build, come together and create a space where poets can kick their feet up, relax, and just chill. So with that said, I do want you to help me welcome to the Podpoets Lounge to do just that. Kick her feet up, let her hair down, all the good stuff after a long day and all of that. So please give a warm welcome to the one and only Miss Bizzy Body. What is up, sis? How are you?
I am fine. Just getting through this day and awaiting your trivia.
Thank you for patiently waiting. I'm excited about the trivia. I've been working on some new things. So I'll be testing it with you. I'll be testing a few things out with you. And sounds like you are up for that. But it's good to hear that you're fine. There's just so much going on, right? That could really derail that. But
it's a great day. It's Juneteenth. It's Juneteenth. It's Juneteenth.
Yes.
Great day.
Indeed. Juneteenth, national holiday now. For me, that's a conversation all in and of itself, because there's something that needs to be unpacked for me when it comes to giving out holidays to Black people in this country. It's just that there's more to it for me. It's a celebratory day. And I feel like we're starting off I'm going right into the heavy stuff here. But it's a lot for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of the individuals that's just going out there and celebrating Juneteenth because they're saying it's a national holiday. The story behind it, for me, needs to be put into context. And that context is celebrating out of pain, celebrating when someone else gives you something versus something that you've acquired differently. And this idea of handouts, crumbs. We're going to talk about the crumbs because you see, I feel like we're getting right into it, but this is okay because you use the word love crumbs. That's something we're going to talk about. Yeah. But yeah, for me, I know it's Juneteenth. I understand the reason for celebration. I understand the history. I just think like I have a unique view on the whole thing, maybe a little bit differently than some. But it is Saturday.
It is.
Yeah, it was. We're here. I'm here. I woke up this morning. I'm blessed with the opportunity to meet great people like yourself, and really excited to get to know you. And it's funny because we actually know some of the same people, but you and I have never officially kind of connected. So I'm glad it's happening today. So I guess we'll start off with you wear a multitude of hats. You wear the CEO hat. You're the CEO of Triple D Production.
Yes.
You're a published author. Your book, Poems of a Broken Heart. All right.
My favorite. That is so, you definitely looked up.
Amazing spoken word artist. You are in the community with your social work service. And I think I saw that you also have some skills as a professional bartender. I don't know if you're a professional dancer, but I know you love dancing. Is that right?
I love Kizomba. I love Kizomba.
How did you find that, Kizomba? How did you get into it?
Oh, oh wow! How did I get into Kizomba? I heard the music first from a friend,
Okay.
and they had their own little community of that, and so from there, I started to take lessons, and the classes are
Okay.
cool, and you get to meet people. It
Mhm.
became my new poetry.
Okay, okay. New
You know,
outlet.
dance.
So I'm not familiar with it. What do you think? What was it about it? Could it have been another type of dance, or was it something about this dance, the spirit of it, the
about
energy?
the spirit of it, the energy. Kizomba party. It's the Angolan dance. It's
Okay.
just so it's different. It's not, you can do bachata, you can do salsa, you can do
Mhm.
reggae.
Yeah, I found it very interesting to learn that that was one of your passions. Poets got a lot of passions, and when we're not writing, when we're not thinking about the next line or how to tell this next story, we're living our lives and we're doing our thing. So again, I just want to really thank you for taking the time out to chill with me, so we could have a little fun today. I want to talk a little bit about you as a poet and how that kind of started. Did you find poetry, or did poetry find you? How did that happen for you?
I'm gonna go with elementary,
Okay.
not knowing that it was poetry probably. And in junior high, I kept just writing things down from the English teacher. She
Okay.
and one day she gave me this diary book thingy, and she
Mm-hmm.
said, "I want you to write it all down in there and jot it down.
Mm-hmm.
Write all your poetry." And I was like, "Poetry? I'm just writing because I'm bored, or I'm writing a song, or this
Mm-hmm.
is just something it comes to my head." And she said,
Mm-hmm.
"No, you need to take advantage of that." And then that specific teacher, never forget her, Miss Bradshaw,
Mm-hmm.
she would constantly give me different things to write about.
Oh, okay. There you go.
And so
Stretching
that
you.
made it more than just what I was thinking. It
Yeah.
became, oh, now I have to tailor this around
Mm-hmm.
that. So made me look at, life a little different. And then I just read, she got me up on reading many, many different books and things like that.
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't know, but that's how I came into it.
Okay. Gotcha. That's awesome that we can have those types of people around us, especially at those tender ages where the impact can be most impactful. And we just kind of run with it, and it just nourishes our lives and continues to do so. That's a great, great story. It didn't quite, it happened similarly for me, actually, when I was going to Nassau Community College. And I'd gotten into just writing a very little amount, and I wrote a poem, and I shared it at college, and a teacher heard it, and she's the one that kind of saw something that I didn't see or know that I had within me, and she kind of directed me over to the museum in Hempstead, and that's kind of where things took off for me. Um, but yeah, life just, with the experiences we have, and I know you've had a lot of them, poetry just kind of like continues to give back and gives us stories to tell. Um, as a spoken word artist, what is what was the transition for you going from poetry and a poet to spoken word artist?
Later on, I realized, I don't know, I like the performance art part. I mean, when I think artist, poet, I think stage, reading, off, but the energy to just look at the crowd and perform that, you want them to feel what you're talking about. So I don't know. Later on, I blame it honestly on Jive Poetic.
Yeah, he's very animated.
I
Right?
blame him because every time I compete, he would say, you know, you're great. You know that, right? And I'm like, But he goes, I want you to give it to me, though. I want you to make me feel what you're talking about. Yeah, you're great. You can write great. You can perform. Okay. Yeah. Let me feel it. How can I feel it? And every week, like, I just literally went in there until I was up there in the numbers and going on Friday. And I was like, yep, okay, I got it. I get what he means. And here we are.
That's so dope. That's so dope. I'm familiar with Jive Poetic. I met him at I think the first place I saw him was New Eurekan. And he's such a dynamic poet, spoken word artist, electrifying. So what did you end up tweaking, or what was the most significant tweak or adjustment that you made to sort of get to where you wanted to be?
Well, I'm not quite where I want to be.
Okay.
That's such an artist thing. Like, we want more. Well, what did I tweak? I
that
think
got you to the caliber at that time.
To performing and touring and things like. Oh, well, I think really the fact that I loved my poetry and hearing them say "give it just opened a door that said, "Oh, I can be free with this." Yeah, this is just me freely writing my thoughts. But now I can tell you it in that emotion, in that moment. So I think I just really tweaked how I said the words versus.
I got you. I think that's really, really insightful. There's a key that turns, and it has to do with the way you perceive yourself, your voice, your message, and that you can be in a space and fill it up with all of you.
Such a different person. It's like
an
old.
When you get into that,
yeah.
Okay, was that a big part of it for you that kept you in spoken word, kept you going back to the art form? Okay.
Yep. Yeah. I am at my greatest, most darkest, most happiest, most everything, every emotion at that one place at the mic.
Wow. That's such a powerful statement. And I think it might be more relatable than you think, because I had a guest on the show, a brother from New Jersey, very, very powerful movements. Like, this brother is an activist, he's an organizer, and he's a spoken word artist, publisher, as well as just an educator. He teaches middle school students, so he's doing a whole lot. And it's funny because when I asked him a similar question, he said he is at his higher self when he's writing poetry, performing, when he's tapping into that artistic aspect of himself. He feels like he's tapping into his higher self. Yeah. Very interesting. Yeah. So obviously I know I would never want to let that go. Poetry gives me something I would never want to give. I would never ever want to let something like that go. Liberation and kind of like freedom is so important to self, to the soul, the need to express. So that's really
but sometimes people can get that silenced. and lose that, especially if they're living in a cage in their own mind.
Right.
And I think that I think a lot of artists live in a cage in their minds, and the only time they really unlock it is on that microphone or through the pen on the pad, typing. For me, leaving poetry was the death of me inside. You know,
When did
and
you leave
all
poetry?
big part was my mental health.
When did that happen for you? When did you leave poetry?
I left a couple of years back. I tiptoe in every now and again.
Okay.
A few
But
years back.
more serious. So you were doing it more seriously.
Yeah.
How
yeah.
serious and
But
how
I
hard
will
were you
say,
going?
on tour, I think
Okay.
what people don't know, especially if you don't know how to manage having depression or anxiety, to perform for hundreds and hundreds of people is a little more difficult. Because that anxiety just overwhelms you. And the bigger the crowds, the more excitement, because I got all these people clapping for me, which is the most amazing feeling in the world. But how do I outdo that now? And go through whatever this thing is, that because a lot of people don't know, like they may see me on stage and say, oh, you were effing great, yo, you tore that up, yeah. And me, I think it was complete trash. It's like a drug addict. That first high, they're chasing that first high. You're chasing that, but they never quite get that. But for that moment, boom, every time you hit a stage, every time I hit a stage, boom, I'm just happy for that moment. And it sucks because I got in my own head. I had my own stuff going on. And then they put me on like meds, and the meds stopped me from writing completely. Imagine that. Completely.
Yeah, I know people complain about writer's block when they can't find inspiration, but
you think it's a joke. It's not.
Yeah, that's a different thing altogether. Something that's a little that you can't control. You know what I'm saying? You're doing something to heal your body, but it's having effects, and you can't like tap into one of the most healing aspects of who you are. It's gotta be
Can
crazy.
you imagine being told like, oh, this is failing, that is failing. Oh, and by the way, because everything is failing and now your mind is like losing it, you're suicidal, and oh, by the way, the meds I'm gonna give you is gonna stop all that. You're actually gonna be happy, but oh, you cannot never do what you love the most. The dream you chased from childhood. You'll never be on the big stages. You'll never get where you thought you were going to go. Yeah, that sucks. But people never understood that. They thought I just disappeared. They thought it was BS if I said I had anxiety or I got nervous before I got on stage. People don't believe that I am nervous as hell before I hit the stage. They think your favorite artist, your favorite spoken word artist, poet, act, whoever, they think that they don't get those butterflies still.
Right.
But yeah, fighting my own demons and fighting for poetry, I think I just lost the battle. And yeah, I don't. I'm still managing that.
Okay.
However, yeah, it's one or the other. Off my meds, you'll get the greatest poems, you'll get the great pieces of me, but then I'm down and I'm crying when you're not looking. You know?
Two
So
extremes.
yeah, it's two different extremes. There is no medium. We've been trying to find one forever. So I have to make choices. So this way I tiptoe in and I tiptoe out. Do I think it's going to help me? Yes, I want to slam. I want to do all those things we set out to do when you hit Norican stage, but
right.
I'm not, and I didn't lose the love for it.
That's important. That's important because I think some people can use that as their scapegoat. You know what I mean? To say, yeah, just not feeling it anymore, and that's not why. but in this case, it's other challenges, other things that you had to overcome.
Yeah. And just coming clean with it. People don't know. They judge you. They're like, oh, she's up today, she's down tomorrow, never knowing
Right.
the real issue. And I keep it to myself. So it is what it is. You're learning it here on Pod Poets.
Yes, and very appreciative, of the, how candid you're being about it. This is the place really to do that. It's a home for poets to relax, be themselves. If we, even if tonight I don't plan it, but even if we just talked and heard each other and listened to each other and see each other, that's why the space was created as well. But the whole idea of having fun is that all of the pressures and weight that comes with getting on a stage and having people look at you, critique you, and judge you, I wanted to strip that away and allow you to tap into the real reason, the original reason why you wanted to share your art to begin with, and that's just because of how good it makes you feel, and kind of remove the spotlight and just have a relaxed environment, talk, chill, talk about whatever. And then if you want to share something, then you can share it. And then you can share whatever you want. There's no cap on genre, category, length, and so on. So yeah, like I really, really appreciate having you on the show to have these kinds of conversations. I think it's so important for the community to know how we can affect each other when we're not there for each other. Like, what would you say to, if you could, like, talk to somebody who is on the other side? So if there was somebody going through what you went through and they had fellow poets around them that could not see it, could not understand it, could not help, and actually may have made the problem worse by adding more pressure, what would you say to those people to let them understand what the person's going through and what they could be doing differently?
Wow.
Does that question make sense?
Yeah, I would tell them to hear the person, because you get little cries out, people cry out in ways.
Okay. So you got to pay attention to those cues.
You have to really be paying attention.
Okay.
Especially in the artist. We learn early, even wanting to be an artist, how to act. That comes naturally. But it's little cries, things that really stand out, whether it's social media, whether it's if you see the person out anymore, but but don't just on the poetry scene. It was more like, you're getting money, people love you, get over it.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? And nobody thought to say, nah, are you good though? What's really going on? Like that part. Yeah. Just pay attention. When they say check on your strong friends, I think that you really check on your strong friends. Like, you forget everybody's laying their burdens on that person.
Right.
And so that becomes too much. And for somebody like suffering for whatever reason, it could be whatever reason. But for somebody suffering, going out to enjoy themselves, they just want to do that sometimes. But performing is just, there's great times and there's downsides. Because after when you get to a certain place, especially shows back to back to back to back, you start to question whether you're doing it for the love or whether you're doing it because you love it still.
Okay.
So add that to what's happening. And to write under that kind of pressure is rough too. So
I can imagine.
Know. Yeah, the pressure to outdo your last, or that gets rough. But check on your friends. I would tell them to just make sure everybody on the team is good. Know the signs and care. Actually have some sympathy or empathy.
Yes.
Care, because people don't even look into it. They won't even Google what it is. And we come from a Black community where someone with mental health was a touched child. Oh, ain't nothing. They just stupid. This is the kind of thing we grew up with. Well, some people, I know I did. Like, they didn't take mental health seriously back then. And so you grow up without the proper treatments, and now you're stuck with that. So here we are now as adults or young adults and going through that. At least for my generation, at least I know my son's generation knows about mental health. It's so big. But for mine and the 70s, the 80s and 90s, like nobody knows to struggle from young and then turn an adult and try to get the treatment, but you're so far gone by then,
It's difficult to then try to fix it so many years later. I'm an 80s baby, and I did not hear much about mental health. The only conversations pertaining to that would be like Alzheimer's, like actual diseases that people be afflicted by. But it wasn't until like 2000, what was it, 2018 maybe, probably 2018 I think it was, when I was at work, because I do IT, and I'm help desk. That means people were constantly running up to me and for support and for help, and it's a very stressful job. But oddly enough, I didn't even quite understand how stressful it was until I stopped doing that type of work and realized how I felt afterwards, like how my mind felt and all of that good stuff. But one day I was at work, and somebody who took some time off had come back to work, and I was talking to her, and she used the word mental health day, the expression mental health day. And that was the first time I had heard that. Like literally just a couple years ago was the first time I heard mental health day. And I was like, it's self-explanatory, a day for yourself. You take a break from work, but it was like something, I guess, specific that you might do on that day for your mental health, or just take a break from work for your mental health, because the work is whatever it is, however demanding it is. But for me, my mental health journey, it's been an interesting one, and I'm still on it. I slip and fall. In fact, I've been noticing too, for me today, I have these moments where I was getting kind of stuck in like certain thought patterns, like either something from yesterday, or something, a look from somebody at Whole Foods, you know what I mean? Like spaces where I might feel a little paranoid, because it might be a lot of white people.
Imagine having to explain your triggers to people. They don't get it. These are all your triggers, and now they don't get it. They're looking at you like, what are you talking about? And then I'm talking about before 2018, 2019, where it became a big thing.
Hardly a conversation at that time, right? Yeah. But I think we've made big strides in terms of the openness about mental health, and that's been a plus, I think, because people do need it. People do need conversations about it, ways to treat it, ways to handle and manage it, and ways to deal with the triggers. And society, I think, is listening. I think so. So yes, it's a important and big conversation to have, and I think we're going to try to touch on it a little bit more if we have the time tonight. So much time is already passing, just from talking. Can you believe we've already been talking for like over 40 minutes? And no trivia yet. Yeah, time is flying here. I'm busy. All right, so I had so much more to ask you before we got into the first poem that you're going to share with us, but we'll save that for another time. Do you have something that you could share with us now?
I should have been prepared for that. No, what kind?
Eh?
Anything.
What kind? What kind?
Yeah.
So you are an absolute seasoned pro. normally, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, you would have an intro piece that is spit before anybody even hears your name. Do you have one of those? Right? Like, isn't that the era you're coming from?
I do have an intro piece.
You remember it? Has it been a minute?
I remember my old intro piece. I do. It was my favorite intro piece of all time. I think I developed it on tour.
Okay. And you got to tell us who you used to tour with, because I might know some of them.
You definitely know Sweetspot. That was fun.
Oh, the Sweetspot. Okay. Wow, you got to tour with the Sweetspot. Man, listen, that's one of the dopest poetry spoken word campaigns on the move. Big up to Ainsley Burrows and the Sweetspot. Awesome. I checked it out. I never performed there, but really, really cool.
Exciting tour, trust me. Stressful,
yeah.
But
oh, yeah, it's something. It's definitely exciting.
Yeah. My intro was none of you know me or know what I'm about. But tonight, I plan to put something in your mouth. Ladies, I'm going to give you something to tell your spouse. And spouses, I'm going to give you something to hold your nutsacks about. You going to ask about B. They said what I'm doing tonight, I plan to foreplay with you. At some point in this piece, we are going to screw. By the end of the night, I'll be screwing you. So if you don't like what I do, hit the back of the room, because Miss Bizzy don't spit for no type of prude that don't appreciate the type of poetry that I like to do. I need you to sit back, relax, and get in the mood. And after you nut, don't call me, I'll call you. And everybody will go, I'll call you.
Is that the end piece? That's it? That's the end of the poem, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that was just the intro.
I like it. I like it. Yeah. I'll call you. Nice. Funny. And leave me wanting more. Okay.
Yeah. It led into their favorites, and especially with the erotics. And it was a great show, man. I miss those days.
Word is born. I really enjoyed it when I went. It made me want to go home and write, and just think of the most creative and imaginative things I could say about sex, and things of that nature. Really dope writers, and they really capture you. I forget the name of the brothers that did his thing when I went to it. It was in NYC when I went to it.
Mm-hmm.
A great show between the burlesque and all the other stuff. Very entertaining.
Oh, it had such an awesome team. I know the team is different now, but you had everybody, and it was just super dope. Ainsley did really well with that.
Mm-hmm.
They did really well with that. It was darn it. The AB team, the B team.
Okay.
We had such a good time. So
yeah,
shout out to them. They're still going strong, and that is awesome sauce.
Indeed. Many establishments in the poetry community appear, then disappear after some time. It really is cool to see the longevity of some of them, and definitely a lot of work put in by Ainsley. Phenomenal spoken word artist, poet.
Yeah, Sabrina. They all work super hard, and we're really dedicated. Walt, all the poets that was on the team, all got the opportunity to branch out and do their thing, and that's very important.
Yeah.
Deacon, wow. Dread, how did I forget his name? He's doing his thing down south. Everybody, Salah, she's doing her thing in Jersey. Deacon has his. Everybody just are living off what people said was gonna be not worth it. You know, back in the days, it was just like you never get paid for that. You never really.
Right.
You know, It wasn't true. It not only doing what you love every day means that you're not working. So they get to do what they love.
Definitely
every
dream
day.
a reality.
Yeah. Super dope.
Facts.
You get that experience.
And let me ask you, because there are listeners who have these types of ambitions and dreams and would be thinking to themselves, well, yeah, how do I make that that transition? What would you say to them was the biggest change that you made to start getting paid for what you do?
Make sure you're not around the wrong people.
Okay.
Start poetry. Everybody's in it for $1. Well, I just didn't have a good experience with people using me for the money. Like they'll get paid $150 to have me there and give me 25. You get what I'm saying? So people were, it's not like your creative, your art can't make you money. It's about who you're around trying to get the money with. If you don't know any better, they will get you. They'll know that you're a good artist and they'll take you places and things like that, but they're making money off of you. And that part isn't too cool. So know that competing is important. And don't consider yourself as competing against your fellow artists. You're competing against you. I think that's another thing. People didn't have a lot of love on the thing because they're judging everybody and listen, we're here, we're spitting what's in our head, what we love to do, and people like it or love it or hate it or however that goes. But don't ever think that you can't get paid properly for your talent. The people who throw in the show are getting money, and your talent is your money. People will pay somebody random. Why won't they pay you? Well, I'm not saying wait. Let me stop. Wait, first, let me back. After you put some work in, first of all, put some work in. I'm not saying your first show you about to be like, give me $250. I need you to not do that. But after you put the work, we put the work in. We were going from show to show every week, supporting everybody's stuff, building up that level and competing. And that's how you get it. Someone sees you. And next thing you know, you're doing this event, that event. But also, I'm not just a busybody for poetry.
You're not just a busybody for poetry?
Right. I'm trying to excel. I'm always working 2, 3, 4 jobs, hustling. You got to hustle out here to get where you want to be. You got to fight for your position as well. And don't take no for an answer. I just got super lucky to be introduced to somebody that took my talent seriously and said, no, you're going to get paid for this. And they made sure of that.
That's so important. I'm glad that you're sharing this story. The people you have around you definitely can make or break your success. And I similarly had people around me that saw the value because I started out doing poetry for, just myself, hobby, never thinking in terms of doing something like that professionally. But yeah, when you have certain people that see you, what you can do, and want you to get paid for it, those are good people to have around you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Some people want to be vultures, and then you have ones that's like, let's really get this money together. And you have to figure out who's who. It's a who's who. And I say poetry business, this spoken word business, because here it is your art, but it's different when you're on the scene. It's so different on the scene, but you gotta love it. It's like one big dysfunctional family. Dysfunctional family. And you like it, you love it, but your favorite artist I still got favorite artists, and then they get on the stage and I'm just in awe.
Right?
Awe. It's no hate. None of that. It's just like, yes, you're dope, I'm dope, we're dope. Hang out with those type of people. You want to get somewhere in this poetry business, you stand next to people that are like-minded, getting the job done. Period.
Well said. Yes, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, you are checking out the Pod Poets Lounge. You can catch our latest episodes at home or on the go from your favorite listening app. One of the dopest poets that I know is here with me this evening. She is chilling. That's Miss Bizzy Body. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And we're just vibing right now. She will be getting her writing published in the Ink magazine. That's the digital online publication. You can follow them on Instagram at the Ink magazine. And in the section of that magazine is Spilled Ink. That's where the work for all the winners of the Pod Poets Lounge trivia show get their work featured. This is a dope publication operated by a really talented spoken word artist and businessman, God's Ink. Shout out to him. You can check out his podcast, The Words I Never Said, every Wednesday. And again, follow them at The Ink Magazine. And while you're there, follow us at _podpoets_lounge. And you can visit our website at thepodpoetslounge.carrd.co. And go ahead and subscribe on YouTube as well. The link is here. You can support us by helping us grow that platform. And the vibe continues. It's time to get into some trivia. We're going to shift gears a bit after that great conversation, learning a lot about how similar, actually, I think our views are on what is going on in the poetry community and just similar experiences. So the game is quite simple. We've got some categories this evening that we're going to select from. Poets of Instagram, word puzzles, pop culture, and word whiz. So each each question is worth 1 point, and yeah, that's it. I think it's pretty straightforward here. We're gonna get right into it because time is of the essence. But we'll start with a quick test question here. So this would be the type of a test question you may have. How many people cried when Brazil got knocked out of FIFA, the FIFA World Cup? Would it be A, a countless, B, the entire team cried, or C, a Brazilian? What do you think?
Countless.
Countless is a good answer because I don't think you could really count these. But the answer here is Brazilian. It's a combination of Brazilian and Bazillion, I guess, or billion.
I'm done.
So this is a test question, no points, but we're about to get serious. This is your first official question. I'm gonna jump right into it. It's not in any of the categories. This is just something that I came up with. Knowing who you know. And here's the question: which one of these poets was not featured on the flyer that was posted back in 2015 on your IG page about the film Love Should Have Brought You Home Last Night? Which of these poets was not featured on the flyer? Was it author and spoken word artist M.A. Dennis? Was it B, actor, spoken word artist D. Black? Or was it C, activist and entrepreneur Kevin Livingston?
Was not posted?
Was not on that flyer.
M.A. Dennis.
Yes, that is correct.
And he ends up featuring for me later on. Shout out to M.A. Dennis.
Big ups. Many attitudes of Dennis. Man, got so much love for that brother. Okay, so we're officially ready now. These are your categories now. Let me share them back here, and I'll have you choose. All right, so the first one is word whiz. IG poet, word puzzle. Yeah. Oh yes, and pop culture. Here we go. Okay, so you can select from any one of those categories for us to get started.
Let's see, IG poet.
Okay. Here's your first question. So this category be quotes taken from Instagram from poets that are in the poetry community on Instagram. It could be a post, it could be a quote, a line from a poem, could be just anything along those lines, but it's acquired from Instagram. So here's the first question. At Jungle Flower Energy. At Jungle Flower Energy on Instagram uses this particular tool along with her poetry, her photographs, and storytelling to educate her listeners on gender-based violence. What is the other thing that she uses? Is it A, humor? Is it B, acting and role-playing? Is it C, improv? Or is it D, music? What does she use?
Sheesh. We don't even follow each other. Oh my god. Oh, too. Oh no. I'm gonna go with improv.
Improv. Okay. Good guess. This one is actually humor. So she combines poetry, photographs, storytelling, and humor to get her message across about gender-based violence. All right. So far, okay. You are on the board. Got 1 point. What's the next category?
I don't even know. Word whiz.
Word whiz. Okay, so these could be terminologies, just definitions, different types of literary devices, that sort of thing. So here is your question. Which term was added to the Oxford English Dictionary in 2021? Was it A, allyship, B, benzicide, or C, covitate?
Are you playing with me today?
I don't. This one I had to really look up.
Oh yeah, because I don't know.
Okay. I'm gonna let you eliminate one of the choices. I think this is a hard question.
Listen. I could eliminate one, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna eliminate one for you. I'm gonna do it for you. Here we go. It's not C.
Well, I know you wasn't talking to covitate.
Allyship or benzicide?
I'm gonna go with B. I think it's A though, but
you think it's A?
I think it's A.
A is correct. Do you want to go back to B? A is correct. Yes, the word allyship was added to the dictionary 2021. Allyship. Let me ask you something. Just real quick. What was using new words that you learned in your writing and in your poetry something that you really liked, that motivated you and got your pen moving? Was that one of the things?
I've written some interesting pieces based on looking up words.
Okay.
Yeah, I wrote some I think if I did it much more, I'd be even dope, even more. You just find out things and be like, oh, that's what that meant. Okay, now how can I finesse this? Yeah, let's go.
Indeed. So it's a good feeling when I know for me, when I find a word or a combination of words that just flow the way that they do, especially when it's a new word. Okay. What is going to be our next category?
I have no idea messing with you. I'm gonna try IG poet again. I have to. There's no way.
All right. You got it. Here we go. So this brother actually was at the show recently. So on May 3rd, 2021, the poet, the masked poet, appeared on IG Live for which platform? He appeared on IG Live for which platform? Was it A, T and Poets? Was it B, Rudy Yard's HTX? Was it C, the Poetry Lounge? Or was it D, Poets Playground?
Weren't they on this?
The gentleman actually, he was on this show, but that's not where he was on that date, May 3rd, on that IG Live.
Good on Poets Playground.
Poets Playground is correct. Yes, got it. Which is a nice platform, by the way. Really cool. Are you familiar with it?
No.
Poets go head to head on that. Like you can call out another poet, and kind of, I guess it's like a one-on-one slam or a big mouth bout type of thing.
Remember the big mouth bout? Oh my god!
I didn't have the pleasure of actually going to one of those events, but I heard about it. I saw some of it. I think Rainmaker. I saw in
so far back when you said that.
Is that a good thing?
Oh yeah, I'm smiling.
Okay. Did you ever perform at it?
No. They had some dope shows.
Yeah. And that was really creative too, just putting that together. That way of presenting our art form, I think was really cool. Yeah. It's a nice platform, really cool. Shout out to them, Poets Playground, doing their thing. Cool brother over there, running the ship. All right, let's get a couple more questions in, and then I've got a few other questions for you, and then hopefully we can hear another piece. And let me know when you have to go, okay? Because we're kind of past 8 p.m. So generosity. Okay. Well, your generosity means so very much to me, and to this platform, to my listeners. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And do you have time for maybe one more poem or a piece, a little short one?
Hey, I have nothing around me, but I could probably. This is one I've been thinking about.
Okay. Hey, Nonsense Password. Thanks for coming through.
Hi. My sisters are like walking around now.
Okay.
Look, y'all mad? They're so annoying. Okay, so it's two that I've been playing back and forth with. Or you want a regular piece that was like already done?
I don't know. It's up to you on this time. I'm gonna leave it up to you.
Yikes. You just threw me off because now I'm like, oh, okay, an old piece, but no, this is 2021, and I'm gotta get past that fear of whatever.
New things. That tell me. I share something new, no?
That yes.
Bring it. Stop ramping the man. Let me stop.
I'm gonna have to harass you, Q. Hey, you over there with that 1990s booster bag with the aluminum foil wrapped around it. I know your intent is to put one of these in the bag where the alarm doesn't go off, because guess what? You're going to ignore the disclaimer and the instructions because you never plan to take care of it anywhere. No, please, you with the 1990s booster bag. I don't want you to come any further. I already see you sticking that heart under your shirt. You plan to take it out of the store in that bag and ignore its directions and its disclaimers on how it needs to be nurtured and taken care of. You don't intend to play by the rules and water it and love it down. You're going to discard it or sell it for a higher value. I'm not discriminating against you coming in this store, but you really need to understand that these hearts over here has been refurbished. These hearts over here are on the stretcher, and this one has been brought back to life 3 times. I'm not sure if it has any breath left. Sir, you continue to walk in this store and steal from your own kind. I know you have a bad mind about this because your father did that shit and your grandfather did part of that ish, and you want to be just like them. You with the bag, I need you to put it down. There's no more hearts that can take what you're about to do. She doesn't want to be devalued, crushed, stepped on, rolled over. So I need you not to steal this one, because this one has been working hard to heal itself. This one has been broken too many times. This one is tired of having open houses where people come to just check out the bedrooms and check in. I am tired. I said tired. I don't want you to sit this underneath your shirt, because I know by morning you'll run down the stairs drinking the coffee left for the ancestors. You have no intent on coming back. Please, Mr. Robber, I'm not trying to play you, but I remember those 90s booster bags with the aluminum foil wrapped around, so whatever you steal won't trigger the alarm, but you just being here triggers this heart. Thank you, Pie Poet.
You are so very welcome, Miss Bizzy Body. Thank you for coming through once again and spending some precious time. Wow, my heart is filled. Like the kind of conversation we were having just now is the kind of conversation I actually haven't really had. And it just like really hit home. It really hit home. You'd be surprised how relatable a lot of what you've gone through is for me. So I really learned a lot, and I appreciate you being, again, just so, so confident and open to share. So thank you very, 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 very much. I appreciate it. And again, for those who are tuning in, appreciate you wherever you're listening from. Remember, you can email thepodpoetslounge@gmail.com for all serious inquiries, and you can always vibe live right here. Stay tuned for our next show, episode number 34, 2 weeks from now. Thanks again to our special guest, the very awesome Miss Bizzy Body, for blessing the space. It was a pleasure having you on the show, evidenced by the smile on my face. Stay safe, queen, stay positive, and take good care. Peace.
Goodbye. Peace, love.
All right, love. Bye.